Listen closely. People will deceive you, not with their words, but with what they withhold. We talk a lot about narcissists and avoidance, but when those two traits merge, when emotional detachment gets wrapped in ego, and you're dealing with someone who punishes you by vanishing, that's a different kind of pain. And that's what we're addressing today. The avoidant narcissist doesn't rage. They don't throw things. They don't scream. No, they disappear. They disconnect. They go cold the moment you get too close. You might label it as attachment style, telling yourself it's just fear. But over time, something shifts beneath that silence. It's not hurt. It's power. Because you're the one apologizing. You're the one chasing. And them, they sit there, in silence, like it somehow elevates them. That's not healing. That's not setting boundaries. That's manipulation dressed in velvet. Now, I'm not here to diagnose anyone. I'm here to help you recognize patterns that leave you drained, confused, and questioning everything. If someone's absence feels like punishment, if you feel invisible when you need to be seen, you might not be facing a scared soul. You might be dealing with a masked one. Let's talk about this. Let's walk through it. Let's expose the red flags that hide behind detachment. Because once you see it clearly, you won't chase anymore. You won't beg. You'll choose. Firstly, they disappear when you need them most. You don't truly know who someone is until you need them. It's easy to be there when everything's smooth. When you're laughing, when the vibe's light, when there's no tension in the air. But real connection, real care, shows up when you're low. When you're scared. When you need someone to lean on. And that's precisely when the avoidant narcissist checks out. Not because they're overwhelmed. Not because they don't know how to comfort. But because your need shatters their illusion of control. See, avoidance can seem like fear. And sometimes it is fear. But with this type, it's not fear that pushes them away. It's power. They pull back to remind you who controls the emotional rhythm. And when they withdraw, what happens? You start questioning yourself. You try harder. You apologize, even when you don't know why. That's not healthy space. That's a calculated move. A psychological strategy wrapped in detachment. Now, look, absence alone doesn't make someone a narcissist. But absence that's time to your vulnerability, that's not a flinch, that's a maneuver. And once you see it for what it is, not confusion, but conditioning, you stop blaming yourself. You stop calling their coldness emotional maturity. You start calling it what it really is. Control disguised. Second, they use distance to dominate. Distance ain't always about peace. Sometimes it's about power. Now, an avoidant narcissist won't try to control you with their hands. They'll do it with their absence, with their silence, with that empty space they create right when you were finally getting close. And they'll call it needing time. They'll call it just how I am. But what it really is, the strategy. Because the more they pull away, the more you step forward. You start explaining yourself, overthinking every word, trying to do the emotional work for two. And they sit back,